Hey, hello, Happy New Year, second time around shooting this video. The reason why is I'm experimenting with this thing here, and I haven't quite worked out what I'm doing with it yet. So anyway, welcome to Reloved Guitars. Puts down gimbal camera. Oh no, it's going to get upset. Doesn't put down gimbal camera. I'm going to be, I thought I might try and find a way of filming with only this, but actually it's a bit inconvenient. I haven't worked out a position to hang it yet, but in the meantime what I decided I'd do is I'm going to film close-ups. So I will go now, start recording. Why is it lying to me? Come on, I got it on video. It's saying Bluetooth. Is that not connected? Sorry about this. Device connection, searching. Yeah, thanks. Osmo connected. Yeah, that's much better. Right, I'm going to have to take care of those bits. Right. Now, yes, we're recording. Look at that. So what do we have here? We have my brother's old Custom Shop Telecaster, and you can see it's a familiar creature. It's been here before. What you'll probably find is I'm just going to drop in this single piece of recording over the top of the basic video, which is that one. Here we have a Lola pickup, brass, bridge, plate and saddles. Which is interesting because I've got some of those here for another customer. Anyway, so this is a Custom Shop Tele with a beautiful metallic pick guard. I used to have a load of stickers, but part of the deal today is I'm going to clean up those. So it's in for a clean up. There's a bit of homemade relicking by the looks of things. That could be genuine, but I'm not sure it is. There's a few dings here and there, and the fretboard is kind of starting to wear down here. It's like the old Brian May touch. I wonder if somebody's actually done that. The first thing I noticed about this when I picked it up was just how well it played. So yes, 4 years ago, and it's still playing beautifully. It's worn here, you can tell, but like lots of guitars, I'm not going to do anything about that. It's also worn here. One of the reasons I'm using this camera, by the way, as you can see, is to get the close-ups that there's no way I'd get with the Sony Action Cam. I think it's worth it to add a bit of colour to these videos, but also, you know, get in close-up and get some detail. I've moved a wire and that's right in the way, so that's annoying. So on the back here we've got this genuine Fender Custom Shop. That's a sticker, I don't know why it's on there. I think that's Paul Smith, the clothing giant, not the guitar giant. Nice fat neck and the custom plate here. My brother is a former racing driver, and now he works as a presenter in motorsport, and he gets to meet plenty of his guitar heroes along the way, because a lot of them seem to enjoy motorsports as well as the music business, so there's often a crossover. I met Justin Sandercoat that way. Spent a day in his studio with Steve. Steve owed him a track day. No, Steve gave him a day at the track, and Justin repaid him with a day in the studio recording a song. Anyway, but that's how I got to meet him. That was a great day out. Anyway, you can see that Steve is a Clash fan. Right, off. Hey, how do I make this go away? I really would like it to shut down. Don't want to waste the batteries. Let's turn that off for a minute. Save on the juice. I think that's going to be the way I work it. Anyway, so this guitar is in for a quick setup. Steve's passing by tomorrow. Now he says quick setup. So I thought, yeah, quick setup. It looks in pretty good nick. Maybe a little clean up and adjustment here and there. Until I plugged it in and discovered that it's going to be anything but a quick setup. So plugged it in. Dun, dun, dun. So anything but a quick setup. So we better get started. I've got a friend coming over with her Gibson, in about an hour's time, so I'll get going on this. We're on the magic arm, a slightly different position from normal. I'm hoping to get a bit more room. I don't want to, trying to avoid getting too much in the old whiteboard really, because that's not very interesting. So this needs a good clean. I'm conscious that these frets here appear to be slightly sticky, as judged by the graphite that I can see in there. So I'm just going to have a quick examine of these there. I think I probably left them unwidened in my original setup, but I can see that that's not helped the situation. Now what I want to do is just free them up, but in such a way that doesn't lower the slot any further. So there's actually quite a bit of depth to go down here, according to this. I think they've all got a bit of dirt in them. I think they could all do with that slight freeing up. So I'm just working a little notch slightly backwards from the front edge. That's the first thing I'm doing. So I think in this one I just cut the slots to where they should be for height, and I didn't widen them or lower the nut or anything, which I probably would do nowadays. So that the slots are higher than I would like. So what I'm doing with this is I'm just using the V file just to widen the slots, and I'm doing it, like I say, tilting back. So mostly I'm avoiding, at all costs, I'm avoiding the front edge of the nut slot, because I don't want to lower that. I want to widen things, but I don't want to end up lowering that if I can avoid it. So now it's not showing any obvious signs of notching, sticking, but just going to assume that it's full of goo because it has stuck at some point. So I'm just going to do my utmost to relieve it of its possibility of doing it anymore. This one's a little bit higher than the others anyway. Now this would have been way back in the days when I did this by taking the neck off and using the old-fashioned flat neck leveling method, but it's in good nick. That's still higher than I would go now, but let's just take a little bit of a moment to clear that slot out. Very fine, these gauge of what's its files. Yes, originally I was thinking about ways of using that other camera, which is why I bought the gimbal. I thought about, could I do it all with that camera, because I did a video over the break, or just before Christmas, with that camera alone. It was a nice change of scenery, but I have to say it's a much narrower field of vision, so although I liked it, I couldn't quite get everything in it the way I really would like to, or I couldn't get enough in. I mean, I would have to constantly be moving the camera around, which would not be good. So I thought, well, okay, I'm not going to use it for that, but I think I will use it for maybe 2 or 3 close-ups during any video, and that's actually a fairly limited amount of drop-in editing. It's not the end of the world. I could live with that, I think. Okay, so first thing is that's fine. I've freed up those nut slots a tiny bit. Everything about this plays really well. So I'm going to take these old strings off. We'll get into cleaning up the body, then we'll clean up the frets, and then we'll basically restring it, because I don't think, basically restring it. We'll get under the hood and find out why it's not playing. Now, I think we can afford to do that with the strings off, because basically it's still going to make the same blurting ground problem noise when we take the strings off, as with the strings on. It doesn't really make much difference. So, but I have to say, everything, I'm very pleased, everything about this is playing great. Spot on. I've got tons of spares really. I'm going to just bin these. A little bit of, I can still see a little bit of, actually I can see a little bit of metal polish from where I polished up the frets last time. Just caught in the crack of the fret where it joins the finish. Oops, forgot to get that string out. So we're going to get some solvent on here and get rid of everything on the front except this one and the faded signatures. I'm under a bit of a time cosh here. I don't like being rushed, but Steve's passing through, so he's not going to be around. He's coming back tomorrow for both, and the other one's a Martin Johnny Cash acoustic, which actually is the simpler of the two by the looks of it. So this old thing, grimy, and it's got lots of lovely, the patina of lots of wear on it, so I'm not going to try and do anything other than clean up the glue stuff. I'm going to leave the faded signatures where they are, but we've got quite a bit of glue residue to get rid of. Thankfully our old standby Coleman's mustard sauce will get rid of it, although it's some stubborn stuff. It's pretty effective. Luckily I've got another bottle of this stuff, so I can tackle any amount of crappy stickers. Might even be better to get a bit on here. Problem with the paper is that it absorbs too much and it sort of dissipates it all before you get a chance to put some elbow grease in. Okay, so that's that one gone. Next one is here. Gunge. It's okay. One on the back here. Softening it up and removing it. There's one more on there, and Steve wants the big sticker on the back left and nothing else, so I'll refresh myself on what's on the back. I think I probably did a bit of this last time, actually, cleaning up some old sticker detritus. That's probably the way it goes, you know, you go through a phase of putting things on your guitar and removing them. And then there's this one here, which is mucky, but again comes off pretty easily. So, actually I'm kind of confident this, I'm sure this wiring problem is going to be straightforward. It's going to be pretty much confident it'll just be a broken wire somewhere. The only thing I don't like about it is that it has the original Telecaster barrel jack thing, which I think is a terrible design. The way it fits into the tunnel. It has a kind of a metal gripper, which I don't know, I just think is a lousy way of fitting a device into a tunnel, especially if it's supposed to stay in one place and not waggle itself free over the years. Okay, so there's the so just wants that one on the back. I don't know, I'm going to leave these on. I'm going to take this one off, but I'm going to leave the signature parts, autography parts. I didn't ask specifically. That is not, and that's leaving just behind the glue, thankfully. But it's a pretty aggressive glue, this one. It's just plastic comes up, leaves the glue, which is kind of the best way really. It's better than lifting the finish. This is a modern finish and it's quite thick. It's not easy. So after this, we've got, before I'm going to go and visit my son in Denmark for a day or two, and then, so before that I really, well, I won't be doing Karen's Gibson in a hurry, because that, I think that is in need of a bridge doctor unit. So that will be one for a bit later on. I've got a couple more things I probably need to do before I go. One of them is to send a custom off to Mark, custom built Strat, which is a slightly restarted beastie. The first one I made was a kind of hand carved body, and although it was a nice lovely piece of wood, it ended up being about 8 ounces too heavy, and Mark's requirements were very specific. I kind of was a bit committed to the piece of wood I started with, because I had no idea ultimately what it would break down to by the time I put in weight relief and, you know, finished the guitar with the required hardware and so on. So we got down to the end case and it was still too heavy for Mark, so he sent it back and I basically remade the guitar, and this time, second time, I used ultra light swamp ash, which I bought in a body for that. It's just one of those things, you know. It's a decision. Some people would say, you're crazy, you know, you've already made one guitar, you're going to pay for another one. And actually, the you know, thinking about it from a business point of view, the thing you least want to do is have a customer disappointed in any way. That's just a fact. So, you know, you look at the situation at the time and you say to yourself, you know, what can I do to make this right for a customer? Even though, you know, the mistake, if you like, is nobody's fault. You know, I mean, if anyone's fault, it's mine for not knowing, you know, the likely target weight of a piece of ash. I mean, you know, I'm not that sort of luthier with that experience. I wouldn't know. I'd be sort of sucking it and seeing it, really, which is what ended up being the case. But for you know, for a customer who needs it to be a certain way, you can't really play that trial and error game. So anyway, so the question for me has always been, you know, what can I do to get it right from here for the customer? And the simplest way was to get a piece of wood or get a body that was going to definitely come in at the right weight, because I already knew that even with the biggest possible routing that I could humanly do, I knew that I couldn't get it in under that weight limit, other than using something like basswood, which I didn't want to do. So the answer was to buy one in, and you know, yes, it's a knock. I think I'll take the Paul Smith off as well. You know, yes, it was a profit dent. I lost any profit in that guitar, which wasn't ever going to be huge anyway. They aren't in custom guitars. But the most important thing is give the customer what they wanted from you in the first place, and there's no price tag on that, I'm afraid. So I'm not at all unhappy with that outcome, and I ended up with a spare body which I've already made into another guitar, which is actually a very nice playing Strat. So, ow! Oh, right under the fingernails, damn it. So that, you know, that will also at some point go to a new home, I'm pretty confident. So, I'll recoup the cost eventually. Right, I'm running out of fingernails, or unscathed spaces under the fingernails. This doesn't seem to just want to pull off like a good old-fashioned piece of sticky plastic could. Well, maybe it's fighting a bit, costing me some pain and suffering. Thank you. Hurrah! Yeah. So anyway, that's got to go. I'm going to send that out Monday, and very much fingers crossed that it's to his liking. Okay, so a bit of clean up there. Nice. What's the word? Satin, worn-in feel to that back of the fingerboard. Being a bit gentle around that logo there, because it's definitely coming off, or it's been worn through. I'm going to clean down these frets quickly. I'm not going to do any major polishing work on them because I haven't got time really to get these done and fixed and sorted out. But I've got plenty of sort of grunge built up in the gap, you know, down the wee edges of this thing. It's quite grimy, but that is the way it goes. The only way you'll get past that is a toothbrush. Also, I'm pretty certain, if I remember, I'm pretty certain that these frets, the lacquer was fired over these frets. I think that's why the stuff is sticking in this right up against the edge of the fingerboard, the edge of the frets, because I think what happens is, oh, my finger hurts. What happens is it breaks when you level the frets. It breaks or when you play it for the first time, it breaks the finish seal, and what you get is a kind of peel back. Oh, right, that's it. I got knackered. This is like Chinese wartime torturers. Chinese? No, Japanese wartime tortures. Oh, bamboos under the fingernails. Or wherever they did that beastly, cruel thing. This, you're supposed to be off, man. How come when it's in this mode it won't switch off? So there goes all of your battery life. Thanks a lot. Any chance of going off? Of course I can't get to the button that switches it off. Nope, that's not it. That is it. I have to reset the position if I use it again. Okay, so just looking at all of these frets, I mean, they're still playing nicely. You know, there is some wear down there, but there isn't enough height in these frets to do any big fancy fret leveling. It doesn't need it, that's the first thing, but there isn't enough material left to do it, so it's good that it doesn't need it. It's just as well, is probably another way of putting it. Right, nice clean cloth to give it a little bit of a wipe down. Again, we're not going to even bother trying to clear up the tarnished brass. It's the way it is. It is what it is. I think there's probably still a bit of residue which we can clean up. So you know what, I might just do a different approach to that if my poor little knackered fingers will allow me to do it. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Not that one, but that one. Bit there, bit in there, and a bit there. Oh, my finger hurts. So this is if you've got a bit of sort of residue left over, it's quite good to lift it with this Eterna Shine stuff, fret polisher, and it will kind of lift up the last of the goo. I'm trying to just avoid the signature stuff too, so it doesn't lift any more of that. It's quite nice, that ghost signature. I don't know if Steve wanted that off, but I can't imagine he did. So this is mainly just to lift the last remnants of the glue off, which is done very nicely. You can always rely on a turner shine to do that. Oh, my fingernail bed hurts. Of course, this thing picks up dust at 1,000,000 miles an hour, so it quickly looks crappy again. There's a bit of sort of worn-in grime around here too, but I don't think it's worth going over the whole thing, simply because unless it was stripped all back to all of the all the stickers off, I think it's probably not a really good idea. Okay, so next thing is, why isn't it playing? So what I'll do is I'm going to plug this in and have this standing by, but we need to take this off. It's kind of a place where we might get ready for a close-up, which we don't usually get to do in these videos. So we could prepare ourselves for that. So we line that up, we get our gimbal, we line this up centrally. Bit of a guess really. Excuse me. We find the start button, we go to the, and we switch this on then really. Okay, hello there. Double click it, goes into portrait mode. Zoom along to a little app. Zoom in our app. Now I should be finding this, but right now I'm having to manually search for it. I've actually got blood coming out under my fingernails because that bloody stuff went under the nails. Right. Okay, so how do we centralize this? No, not that one. That one? No, that's start and stop. There was a control that centralized it. 1, 2, 3 makes it change to the back camera. Ooh, no, we don't want to see that. 1, 2, 3. It was 2 that puts it central. Okay. Alright, so let's pretend I wasn't wasting your time for a minute. Close up. Ah, yes, here we are on the close-up. So, what we're really looking for straight away is what's come undone, ladies and gentlemen. And is there anything obvious? Yikes. So, here we have your custom shop Telecaster wiring arrangement. There's a small capacitor and there's a treble bleed circuit built in. We can get quite close up to that. There's your treble bleed in the middle of the screen, dead center. Oh, it's got some numbers written on it. But what I don't see straight away is anything obvious come off. And the output to the jack socket looks correct. Sorry, I'm looking at the real thing, not through the camera. I should be looking at the camera. Right, so what my worry is, is that there's something in there. Okay, well that was a fun little zoom in, wasn't it? We'll call that quits for now. And can I make this go away, please? I have to push this through to access the off button. Thank you. Off. Smack, bang, wallop. Whoop. Alright, calm down. So, not seeing anything immediately obvious here. There's no wires dangling. We've got not fantastic connections, I have to say. We'll have them heated up, have the iron heated up just in case. We're going to have to get the socket out of there just to be on the safe side. Although I don't much like the idea of getting into that because it's a horrible, like I said, a horrible unit. Chances are it'll spin the whole socket round. I might be lucky. We definitely need the special StewMac unit afterwards to get it back on, I think. Don't spin, just come undone. Thank you. I mean, getting it in there is a hard enough part. Well, okay, so here is why we got our jack plug ready. No buzzing. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so everything is good, everything is right, everything is normal. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to close up these just a fraction in case they're crashing into the side, which sometimes causes it to cut out, ground out. And what I'm going to do, just looking at these, the joints aren't very good here, so I'm going to just beef them up a little bit, just to be on the safe side. But that was not a good sound to begin with. I mean, the solder joint doesn't even go all the way through. We know it's working, so it's not actually the reason it's making that buzzing noise, but let's just make this a happier looking joint for starters. And the same applies to that side. It's only just about there. Come on, heat transfer. That's a bit crap, isn't it? Thank you. Okay. And breathe. So that's better joined. I'm just looking here. I mean, the jack's worn. I mean, the tip is worn, but it's making contact. So I think it must have been. I think it's grounding out on the inside of there, which is a bit naff. Got bridge earth coming through there. That's intact. Nothing else is obviously out of sync. Everything's wired up. I mean, doing what it should there. Let's see if we can put this back in and see what we get, because this is a difficult part. As you can probably guess. Oh look, there's the horrible. This is the possible bit. Okay, here comes the washer. So what I really need is this tool from the get-go. Come through here. There's a very good reason why I hate this kind of socket, and that is because it's horrible. Go on there, stay on there. Go on there, stay on there. Ah, come on. You know you're supposed to go on there and stay on there. Right, let's start again. Need you to go on. That's it. Quick push the other way around. Right. So this bit, it gets held on basically by just the socket. So you have to get this bit through there, that bit through there, this bit onto there. That bit through there, that bit onto there, and that bit through there. That's so cool, thank you. Oh, I forgot the other bit I needed to have on there. I had all of the bleeding components wrong. That bit. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on now. Get it on, hang it on, get it on. Come on, grab hold off of. Grabbed hold. Don't need you. Do need you. I need you, you. Okay, the hateful, horriblest type of job in the world. Sit on there. Nope. Nope. Sit on there. Do what? Nope. Sit on there. Nope. Okay. I've got my zoom ins. That's not helping. You've got to get this to bite, which is pretty much nigh on, next to, nearly, impossible. That isn't probably on, but we can't tell until we do it up a bit more. Hateful. That one. Oh, I do hate this unit. I would so much prefer to replace this with a modern one. Come on. You know you want to do up. Or is this just not doing it correctly? Sorry, you can't see. Okay, I think we're on. It's just getting it done up. It's going to be the pain in the what's it. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. I totally hate this. The trouble is you can only turn the outside, you can't do the inside. And you can only turn it if you've got a really, really solid grip. Turn. Hateful, horrible, hateful, horrible. Hurrah! Now I'm going to put this back in here. And I'm going to assume that none of it crashes the edge and causes distortion. C'est bon. I'll get these done up. And then we'll have one last go at tightening up. That's okay, it's meant to make that noise. One last go at tightening this up. Let's find a better, any better thing for gripping. What about that mean little thing? Ideally it would be nice to have some sort of spanner that goes in there. I mean, there might have been one originally with this machine, but God knows where it is. That's a bit of a pain really. Okay, so you get this into the unit and you turn it counterclockwise, and then you get a grip of your... No, that isn't going to work on this one, I don't think. I think we're as done up as we're ever going to get done. Right, I would replace that for an electro socket thing, which you screw in. Just one single unit screws into the body of the guitar. It's just better. It's better, and it avoids it coming undone at a point in the future and doing what it just did, which was causing some sort of cutout or ground out. There we are. Okie dokie. So, cool. I think it's time to restring. This will be a nice straightforward one, having repaired the grounding problem, and also having, importantly, checked it over and been confident that it's playing definitely as well as it was the last time I saw it, which is brilliant. Brilliant. That was very handy at turning. The little rubber bit on the end of this fret file was perfect for turning that nut just enough to get it started. I've used that many a time and oft for that thing. Okay, so here we have our Arios, 10s. That's supplied. 3-body stringing. Nice, I like these brass saddles, I've got to say. Okay, well, a bit of string stretching, checking the nut slots, and then this one will be done, and I shall be off indoors to meet with Karen, and then I'll have my brain head bread reset. Up and down there. Head reset for the Martin, which I think is, as I said, is starting to suffer now from a bit of bellying. It's still a lovely guitar to play, but it could probably do with a tad of Bridge Doctor in there, and I think it might be worth fitting one of those at another time. But right now there's still room in the saddle to improve the action by a noticeable amount. Even though it's nice to play down at this end, it's actually not bad all round. Right, I'm going to go. What do? I'm going to go two pegs past the one I'm putting on. I sometimes cut it too short in the past, so 2 pegs more than I need. 2 pegs, and make sure you're measuring the right peg, because you can really get it wrong in a hurry. Hello, Morris. Not seen you in here for a while. Hello, boy. Come up and say hello. Or don't, we'll just let the warm air out. Let the light in and let the warm air out, my friend. Okay, 2 past the 1, 2 past the 1, 2 past the 1. Now it's getting breezy. Oh well, probably just as well as a hint to finish up and go indoors. I wonder if the logo coming off here is a relicking effect. I don't know. I would suggest that's what Steve's been doing. But okay, Morris, is that nice? Coming in and letting all the warm air out. I like these split post tuners, they're so easy to restring. Oh, there goes the door. I think Steve's a bit of leather on the end of this headstock will certainly protect the lacquer at the end of the headstock, but it won't protect the neck from kind of hard knocks. But it hasn't taken any because there's no cracks down at the joint end, so it's in very good nick still. He's probably like me, doesn't play it on stage enough. Alright, Boris. Boris Pasternak. Okay, so new strings on. A bit of an initial stretch to get them into place. I didn't throw that bit away. Duh. Well, seal of approval. You like it? It's good for you? Oh, you do, don't you? You like it. It's good for you. Ew. Oh, he's my boy. Leaving clumps of fur all around the house. Come on. Meow, meow. Oh. You don't do tricks, but it's good enough. Alright, boy. People like to see Morris, so Morris, look up here. Say hello to folks. Hello. Oh. But don't wipe your face on the camera, that's all I ask you, because you do that. Okay, alrighty. So we're pretty much done on that one. Yes, right, can you jump down for a minute now? What was that? Ah, my plastic stirrer. That needs to stay there. Come on then, handsome. There you go. Right, a bit of stretching while he's down there. You going to get involved in the stretching, Morris? No. Soldering? No. What time is it? Time is at 12:30. Oh, look, that took a lot longer than I expected. So we're well ahead of the game for once. Are you sniffing? Sneezing? You've got a cat? Sneeze. I think I need to go and get some toast and marmalade. It's the thing for getting straight up and started. Listening for pings. It's all tuning good and proper. Get rid of all the built-in slack so that you've got your tuning is completely stable. I bet you Steve doesn't spend 20 minutes stretching his strings out when he changes them. But you've got to. You've got to, or else it just won't stay in tune. Get back under there. Close. Do a bit more stretching here. Right then. That is, my dear pupils, done. Alright, we're on acoustic, that's no good. Can't hear anything like that. Okay. That's nice, that low lar. What's that? Oh yeah, what? Oh. Oh, what's that? It's yes, isn't it? yeah, anyway, what's it? Awaken from Going for the One, or Wondrous Story. What was it called? Going for the One, wasn't it? So that's an E minor. Oh, I can't get the chord right, but anyway, that's what I was thinking of. Chokes out at the highest bends, but on the 10s I don't know he's ever going to get there. Okay, last pull and we're out of here. I suppose we should check the intonation. I'm assuming it hasn't changed, but who knows. just have a quick look at the intonation. While we're here, and while Morris is here, he can judge. He'll be the judge. Happy, there we go. The Custom Shop Telecaster, minus some stickers, cleaned up a bit, restringed, intonation checked, nut slots tweaked. Oh, slight tiny tweak I'm going to do on these lower two. Just felt a tiny hint of drag going on there, so I'm just going to widen these slots a tiny fraction on both of those, because I didn't in the first place, and I think that needs it. Alright, Morris, on your way. There we go. That's it, done.